she's traveled with me quite far and wide. And in last week's Oracle card reading, she chose the Oracle cards. So she might do that again today because we're going to film the weekly Oracle card reading today from here for the week coming up. So let me just tune in to your energies and see how I can best be of service to you. Well, the angels are saying that there are quite a few people here whose sensitivity has heightened as they have moved here. So there's people recently on this island, some have been here for quite some time, and that your empathic qualities are at a whole new stratospheric level. They show me your light body extends in all directions, and you're picking up on energies all around the world from your loved ones who don't live here, and also from global situations as well as personal. They said that for you, this is a time of great confusion because you have mastered some human skills and you wonder how to put them into practice in a practical way. And they said that it's time just to let all of your past ideas of how jobs are supposed to be or life's supposed to be, just to let those go. It's a time to be impractical, they're saying. And so your family may chide you and say, when are you going to get a real job? And that benchmark has passed. That's ancient history on our planet, thank goodness. Real jobs are for people who haven't caught up to the current energy. So they're showing me that your hearts are very blessed, that your prayers have been very powerful, and that you've done a lot of lifting and clearing for not only your own self, but for your families. And I'm being shown that you've lifted a lot of curses that go back lifetimes. And a lot of blocks have been lifted because of your connection to the energies here in Maui. And they keep showing me the trees. There's a real connection that you have to the banyans and the different flowering trees and the palm trees. And they said, just keep up that work, even though, again, it seems illogical. They want me to emphasize to trust your synchronicities as they come up and the flow, and stop planning ahead, they said. Oh, they're showing me, there's so much they're showing me, and then I'll take some questions too. They're showing me that there's quite a few knights here. Knights are warriors, protectors of peace, and that you're doing a lot of soul travel work on behalf of humanity, as well as we've got quite a few animal protectors here. They're showing me one person here in particular is an excellent animal communicator, and I am being told to tell you that that is your profession and stop fighting it. I'm also being shown that quite a few of you are warriors for children, not just here, but they show me that you do warrior work for children in indigenous countries, and that you're helping them to have their basic needs met, but also their rights protected. I'm shown that you do a lot of work while you are dream traveling and sleeping, and you wake up exhausted, and you know you've been somewhere, but you're not quite sure where. They show me that you're traveling to Africa, to different places in the world where there's extreme poverty, and in India, you're going there quite a bit, and protecting the children. So you have very loud angels. And you're hearing them too. I'm being shown that there's a woman here who's being pushed to be a spiritual teacher, and she's just got her heels dug into the ground and she's resisting it. And they're saying, just let go, that all of your fears will not come to pass, that you're remembering a past lifetime when you had a lot of problems as a public spiritual teacher, but they said that's the past. There's also someone here who's being guided to move from Maui, and they're resisting that because they love it here so much. But they're saying that your work has shifted to a much broader audience, and you need to be in that kind of lower energy frequency of the mainland, because they are who needs you. They said otherwise it's kind of like you're singing to the choir here in Maui. Oh, interesting. Someone here is being shown a lot of sacred new symbols. I feel like she's already a Reiki master, and she's already very highly attuned, but she keeps getting downloads of new symbols, and she has to trust them and write them down and teach them to others. These are not of earthly origin. Where they're coming from is like a folded in space place. So these are what your angels are saying for the moment. We'll take questions in a minute. If you have specific questions, I can tell you what they're saying. Hi, my name's Doreen, and I talk to angels. And this is Michael, and he talks to angels too. He's named for Archangel Michael. Hi, everyone out there. Need to just take down that wall. Huh? Can you all hear out there? Okay. Okay, good. Anyway, so Michael and I used to live in Kona, which was a very sacred place in my evolution of healing and opening. I needed that Pele energy and just the rawness of the lava there. And then when that shifted and we were assigned to come here to Maui, over a year ago, And so this is now our permanent home. And
yay! Welcome to the Maui family.
Yeah, well, I've been coming here since the 1980s when I actually went into escrow to buy a place here, and it just didn't work out, so it wasn't the right time. So this has been a dream for a long time for me to live here. And I feel very protective of her, and that's why we are very involved in the March Against Monsanto.
Yeah!
We have flyers. As passive, peace-loving people, we wish it said March for Organics. We wish it was more of a positive name, but this is the best we have. So my ego tried to talk me out of joining because of the negative sound of it, but I told my ego to take a hike. And so we are going to...
There's a hat for you in the front.
Oh, thank you. Oh, wow, no GMO. Oh, it's me.
Porky Brooke is in the house. Porky, wave your hand.
Hello.
This is our GMO-free Maui activist.
Okay, good.
And I brought flyers.
Okay, we've got them too.
Excellent.
Yeah, good. Yep. So, I think Gigi's going to march with us too because she doesn't like GMO.
Just Gigi? Our friends bring in a flock.
Yeah, oh yeah, we might bring more dogs. Yeah. But anyway, we're having fun making our poster now and everything, and we just feel like it's fine for corporations to make a profit, but don't ruin it for the rest of us. So we're taking a stand, and I've been an activist since I was a little child, when my mom used to take me door to door to get petitions signed. I grew up this way, and when I grew up, the whole Martin Luther King race riots were going on in Southern California where I was a kid, and so that's the earliest memories I have, is all of that going on. And I watched the world change because of marches. I mean, if Martin Luther King had just sat at home and said, well, I'll just send love and light and prayers, nothing would have changed. He got out there and risked his life to do this. And so I think it's the least we can all do for our grandchildren, is to get out there and be uncomfortable for an hour or so and just make a stand for organics. I've been a vegan since 1996. Michael's a vegan, and we only eat organics, non-GMO. And we feel like it's part of our spiritual path that we were guided to do. Gigi's not a vegan, nor does she want to be. But she eats real simple food. So anyway, I've been talking to angels my whole life, and then the life before and life before. And when I was a child, I was teased for this, and it took me a long time to feel comfortable talking about this publicly, but it's my mission, and I hope it encourages you to come out of the spiritual closet yourself and just admit openly whatever you believe in. I love working with the angels because they're non-denominational, and they are part of every religious and spiritual path, whether you call them bodhisattvas or you call them archangels. It's benevolent beings of the Creator who are here to help us. And I've been clairvoyant since I was a child, and luckily I have parents who always encourage me to keep my spiritual gifts awake and alive. So, speaking as a lifelong clairvoyant, every single person that I ever see has these guides with them. And I've come to understand that these guides aren't spiritual in origin, they are physiological. That we could not be alive without our angels. They are the umbilical cords to home, to heaven. They help our life force of our soul to stay alive. It's like a breathing apparatus for us. So every single person has angels. Whether they believe in them or not, no matter how evil they act out or how saintly they act out, you still have angels. It's like everyone has lungs. Everyone has a brain, and hopefully everyone has a heart. And these angels are always talking to all of us, and everyone can hear them. What I do is nothing special. It's just that I have probably a lot more confidence in it than the average person who tends to ignore their angels or who is intimidated by angel messages, because they always push us to do things that are healthy and positive, but that are beyond our comfort zone. And people don't like to be pushed beyond their comfort zone. Change is threatening to the ego. So if you're told, go be a healer, or you're told, go write a book, or go give a speech, or open a center for indigo children, or whatever you're told to do, the ego wants to fight you on it. And in fact, the bigger your purpose is, the louder your ego is going to be. Your ego is going to scream at you that you're not qualified, that you're not ready, that you don't have enough time, you don't have enough money. And the ego will always have you delaying your purpose for one more day while you get prepared. And it's like the ego holds a carrot on a stick that you'll never get to. So what the angels have taught me is that you just go. Just do it. That you are going to have failure. You are going to have pain. You are going to have disappointment on the path of your dreams coming true. There's no way around that. You're going to have painful moments. And because we have this mission, though, the angels are with us to dust us off and help lift us back up and continue on our path when we feel like giving up. And when it feels like your prayers aren't being answered and you wonder when the next dollar is going to come to pay your bills, miracles happen, always, to keep your faith alive. Because otherwise, all of us who are highly sensitive, we would have killed ourselves a long time ago. Because this planet's so friggin' harsh. I mean, this is the harshest planet in our galaxy, in our universe. People are mean. They're mean to each other, they're mean to themselves, they're mean to animals, they're mean to the environment. And the angels say it's always been this way. They said there's always been evil governments, there's always been cruel despot leaders, there's always been religious wars, and just heinous things have happened on this planet. Anyone who knows anything about history or who's read the Bible can read this. I mean, this is nothing just angelic saying, it's all there in the history books. It's always been a very, very cruel place. And they said the reason is because in the physical dimension there's dualities. There's hot, and then there's cold. There's light, and then there's dark. There's soft, and then there's hard. There's wet and dry. And only in the physical realm do you get those polarities or those dualities. And they said that's one of the reasons your soul elected to come here, to have the experience of dualities, to have a self-test. No one's testing you. There's no one in the sky with a clipboard judging you. That's all dumbed-down religion stuff that is not true. Okay? What is true is that you have a self-test going on continuously to see whether you choose the main polarity, love or fear. So in every experience where you're called to help the children, will you choose love, or will you sell out to your ego that says, be afraid, be very afraid, you might have pain or failure, people might laugh at you. Let me just fast forward to the end of the movie. They will laugh at you. You will get ridiculed. Anyone who does anything that matters is always ridiculed. So we can behave and be good girls and good boys and comply like the Western educational system pounded in our heads to be so. Or we can take charge. And taking charge simply means, I'm going to take a risk. Now, I've been traveling for 25 years now, meeting all sorts of folks from everywhere around the world. And to me, the people who stand out are the people who are truly happy. And those people are who I consider a success. Not because they make a lot of money or they're famous, but because they're happy and fulfilled. That to me is the definition of success. That they wake up in the morning excited about their lives, that they have a sense of purpose and meaning. They may not know what they're going to do tomorrow, but at the moment they're following their guidance. And the common denominator in every one of these people that I've met is that they take risks. So the person who's got a wonderful shop, they took the risk to invest money in a place and open it up. The person who's a successful artist took risks and put their art out into the public where it might be criticized, and probably is. Writers like me who are successful took the risk to send it to publishers, and you better believe I've been rejected a lot. The spiritual teachers who are famous and who are out there making a positive difference took the risk to be laughed at, to be criticized, and yes, that happens. What are you on the precipice of doing that could change the world? Well, let's reel it back for a minute. The question of what's my life purpose comes up for me probably daily, right? On my radio show, and we travel to workshops constantly. We have this month off, that's why we're here. This is our 1 month off this whole year. And we were very honored to come here to the center because we don't have to go on an airplane to get here. I'm not a big fan of TSA. And all that stuff, but don't get me started. Anyway. Let's reel it back. When people ask me what their life purpose is, I always ask them this question. What issues really upset you? What issues sometimes cause you to lose sleep? What issues do you sit there and go, oh my God, someone needs to do something about this? So please, I'm asking you right now to call out what issues are on your mind. We know GMOs, for sure. What else?
Environment.
The environment. Say it out loud.
Bringing up the children with their real true power.
Oh, helping children stay empowered, yeah.
Pushing them under authority.
Thank you.
Asking them to question authority.
Right on.
The rainforest.
The rainforest.
Violence, the ocean.
The ocean, yep.
Violence toward women.
You could say it loud.
Violence towards women.
Violence toward women is an issue. Yeah.
Plane burning.
The chemtrails, thank you, darling. We have to call them geoengineering or they call us conspiracy theorists. but chemtrails are alive and well. We see them everywhere we travel, every week. And it's part of the whole Monsanto cycle to make sure that aluminum kills the soil and the bees so that only their geoengineered seeds, which do grow in aluminum, and their new geoengineered bees populate. So they have absolutely no qualms about ruining everything for everyone else so that they are the only ones selling food. That's their absolute mission, I can tell you. There's a reason why if you Google Monsanto and Antichrist, you get 2.5 million websites.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's really, the polarity here is light versus dark, and as uncomfortable as it makes us, we have to all bring out our Archangel Michael's swords right now and get involved. There's no more time for light workers being passive or shy. What other issues?
People that are constipated and don't realize it, and they're recirculating their toxins.
Okay.
I don't know about cleansing, fasting.
That's a beautiful purpose. Releasing the toxins.
Yes.
I'm really big on helping people detox too. So.
And the thing is, when they do that, then they get clarity to find their life purpose, fall in love with themselves, stop beating themselves up.
Exactly.
So it's got many purposes that people don't realize.
It's a big ripple effect.
Yes.
Completely agree. And you do that here?
Yes.
Good.
Really.
The Belo Monte Dam in the Amazon River.
Oh, okay. Please tell us more.
They are destroying, they're building a dam, actually there are 3 dams, it's a huge complex, and they're not only destroying the Amazon, but they're also dislodging a lot of Indian tribes. So it's bad for everything.
Yeah.
And the interesting fact about it is that the place that they're doing it will only generate like maybe for 6 months energy, because this place dries up and floods during. So it's
a
ridiculous.
waste. Yeah.
It's a waste, and it's done because of maybe not a company like Monsanto, something like Monsanto that wants that energy closer to them or something.
How many of you have seen the movie Avatar? Right? What would Jake Sully do, huh? We need to call on our inner Jake Sullys right now. Yeah.
Yeah, Sigourney Weaver and Cameron did a documentary about this and when it's happening.
Yep. And so we can help. One of the main ways we can help, and I'll go back to these are messages from the angels. And what's so interesting, the way my work has shifted, is that since I was a little girl, the angels showed me the future of this planet. They showed me my life purpose. And when I started to publicly give angel readings and messages, everyone seemed very open to it, except for when the angels would give messages that bordered on political. And that started to happen right after 9/11, when the angels said, there are no weapons of mass destruction. And I told audiences that, and they were like, just stick to the fluffy angel stuff, Doreen. Don't tell us about this. We don't want to hear. And I was giving messages about we can't go to war in Afghanistan. It's a major mistake. It's never going to end. And people were saying, we don't want to hear this. And so back then, I listened to the public opinions, but I don't do that anymore. Now, because the angels can see everything. They see the truth, and they see the big picture. So if you're not political, you need to be political. Our good friend Neil Donald Walsh says,
Spirituality is your politics.
spirituality is your politics. Yeah. And so you just can't be passive anymore. We have to get involved. Now, I know the news is upsetting, so there's ways to contain it, and one is to see each news article as a way to send prayers and asking for guidance. How can I help? And also, I think it's really important not to watch or read the news before bedtime, really close to bedtime. Make it something that's kind of when you're in the strong period, maybe in the middle of the day, and then you can process it really well. And it's something that we're all called to do. If the world was perfect, they wouldn't need us right now. We would all be home in heaven in our Barca loungers, And they put us in human bodies because human bodies are what people listen to. They don't listen to their angels, but they listen to other humans. So, anyway, it's a real time. After a long time ago, I went down to the Mayan territory in Mexico, and I was writing a book called Goddesses and Angels, and I spent time with 2 Mayan shaman who were born and raised in the Yucatan, and they took me to the inside of Chichen Itza's pyramid and showed me the carvings, and this was my investigation on the Mayan calendar, because so many people were afraid of it, and they taught me that the end of the Mayan calendar was this Venus return that happened last June. And that when the Venus return happened, it was the end of the veil. And this veil lifted for everyone. And what happened was when the veil lifted, everyone became an indigo. Now, indigos, she'll tell you, are people, strong-willed people who absolutely have a truth detector inside of them. And they know immediately if someone's telling the truth or not, whether they're patronizing you, whether they're manipulating you. And the indigos, you can laugh, because this is truth, right? Right? And indigos only respect people who walk their talk. They do not care how much money you have, whether your title says you're principal of the school or not. They don't give a darn about anything but whether you are real and tell the truth. Well, before June of last year, the indigos felt all alone, and they were often medicated for speaking up about the truth, and they were put on antidepressants and Ritalin for ADHD. But after June, everyone had their truth detector awakened. And that's why you see nonstop news about these scandals coming out. And they've always been there. There's always been scandals going on. But now everyone can see them. So it's like the windows have been cleaned for us all. You must be going, thank God, finally, right? Right. People relate to you more now, and they go, oh, you were right all along.
Everything's just opening for me lately.
Yeah, right. And so now that you can see the truth, you can see the truth of your own life, your own relationships, where you work. And because this veil has been lifted, a lot of people are now thinking, I need to change everything in my life. This isn't working. And they're questioning where they work, they're questioning where they live, they're questioning who their friends are. And I want to let you know that this is something that Michael and I are seeing all around the planet right now. A lot of people are being called to energetically be reassigned to new homes. So many people, everywhere we go, are moving. In fact, where were we the last place? I can't even remember. Atlanta, yeah. So there were so many people in the audience. And this was an audience of several thousand people. And we said, there must be a real estate agent here. And there was. So she started giving out her cards. So I don't know if there's a real estate agent here. Really? Okay, so this is what you want, a real estate agent who's tuned into spirituality. Because they'll feel the right location for you, right? Don't you use your intuition? So, do you have cards with you? Of course you do. All realtors have cards. So stick around at the book signing, okay, Darlene? Because we may have some new clients for you. Everyone is, it's almost like musical chairs. Everyone's moving at the moment.